Jonathon Majors has just stepped into court to begin his trial, but have the red flags been flying for years? Welcome to Beyond the Screen, I'm Nate, and these are 10 Jonathon Majors red flags that we should have noticed. Number 10, A.B. Allen. Allen is a director who had the opportunity to work with Majors in the past, and it turns out that it was a terrible experience and they were well aware of the extracurricular activities that Johnny got up to off set. When the arrest was made public online, super sleuths decided to dig into his past tweets and Instagram posts that had anything to do with Jonathon Majors. A tweet from A.B. Allen from a few months back was shared online, proving that they were alluding to the misdeeds very early on. They posted on their Twitter page that there is a particular actor relatively new to the scene who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who is actually a vicious, cruel, and terrible human being, both professionally and in his personal life, and every new viral thirst tweet about him just drives them crazy. Once the actual details were released, they made another series of tweets apologizing for not saying something sooner and being more to the point. Majors could have been charged sooner, Allen could have been the first to make it known, but that didn't happen. The final tweet was an acknowledgement that people in New York City and at Yale have known about his behavior for years but did absolutely nothing about it. He is a sociopath and a mistreater. That is how everyone virtually speaks about him. Allegations have been attempted in the past, however those who have actually tried to call him out have been met with backlash and negativity up until this point. Number 9, Tim Nicolai. Actor and stage director Tim Nicolai was much more forward with his accusations towards Majors, saying that folks in the theater community were well aware of his behavior but had been shut down every time they tried to say something about it. On top of those claims, in a now deleted tweet, he called him a lot of fun, mean words that I can't say on the internet, and one of them rhymes with bunt. Tim expressed how much of a shame it was that it took so long for John to get reported. Both Allen and Nicolai have made their accounts private and refused to name the alleged victims out of fear for their privacy, and why they refused to comment beforehand, but the fact that 2 additional people have come forward with claims is just not good for this cause. It seems like John has been troubled soul for a long time. Depending on how things work out, justice may just finally be served. Number 8, Rolling Stones. It's not just former directors, actors, and colleagues calling him out on his actions. Rolling Stones released a whole expose on Majors, and there was a lot to unpack. According to the report, Majors made members of the costume department cry during the filming of his 2022 movie Devotion, and a source from the production team said that he took some kind of a sick pleasure in it. It got so bad that some of the members of the crew reportedly made claims about it to producers, but Rolling Stones reported that no official complaint was ever actually made. They ultimately decided that saying anything would have derailed the project and caused a ton of people to be out of work. Sadly for those associated in this project, it wasn't the only time that this type of thing took place. Number 7, Magazine Dreams. Magazine Dreams had its world premiere at the Sundance Festival earlier this year and stars Majors as Killian Maddox, a bodybuilder willing to do whatever it takes to become the next big celebrity. It was supposed to be released later this year, but thanks to the SAG-AFTRA strike and, the accusations about Jonathon Majors, it was removed from the release schedule. This is just another project that had apparently been a very toxic set to work on thanks to Jonathon Majors. During production of the movie, Majors reportedly became physically intimidating towards a member of the cast and allegedly pushed another person, which led to complaints. Majors' attorney refuted the claims as Majors being a method actor, which can be misconstrued as rudeness sometimes. Yeah, but there's a massive difference between gaining 30 pounds and being a little rude and physically shoving your co-stars for no reason. That really should have been one of the first big red flags. Pushing a buddy is one thing, but when you're on a film set, you have to be professional, so just be professional. Don't beat up your co-stars like your buddies on a hockey team. Magazine Dreams will more than likely never see the light of the silver screen, and if it ever does, we will finally know what co-star that is and who they played. So that might not help either. Number 6, Yale. The accusations towards Jonathon Majors date back to his time at Yale when he was still enrolled at Yale's David Geffen School of Drama, where Majors pursued his studies following his bachelor's degree. The actor gained a reputation around the school for his intensity, as described by former peers. Intensity can be a good thing sometimes, Hugh Jackman is intense and we love that, but Jonathon had reportedly engaged in several physical altercations with others, including incidents during scenes, just on stage in class. He was throwing throwing real fists left and right, claiming that this was some kind of a method acting type deal, creating an atmosphere where people allegedly just felt in physical danger around him the entire time. After 2 separate incidents involving Jonathon, administrators at the school had supposedly sent an email reminding everyone about rehearsal etiquette and violence. Instead of just calling him out and punishing the actions, the school was like, hey, no, don't do that. Majors' attorney has constantly denied the allegations, but it seems to be from the beginning that his reputation has not been the greatest. Number 5, ex-partners. While there's been multiple people casting blame on Jonathon, one red flag is definitely the lack of people coming to his defense, namely his exes. Rolling Stone said that in at least 2 previous relationships, there were claims of his inappropriate actions, and a friend of one of his ex-girlfriends said that he became physical with her while they were dating. The only one who voiced any kind of support for him was his girlfriend from his teenage years, who described him as sweet, kind, and gentle. Of those who stated their concerns, one described their time together as emotional whiplash. Jonathon's attorney again denies everything, which I'm like 99% sure is just on the first page of whatever book they hand out at law school. Just deny, deny, deny. It's just 100 pages that say deny. There is an alarming number of people who can confirm the accusations being brought up against him, so it's just funny that his lawyer keeps popping up being like, yeah, that didn't happen. They saw it happen. Number 4, canceled movies. Other than his high school girlfriend, no one has actually come forward in support of Majors in really any way, giving us flashbacks to the Johnny and Amber trial where there was just a whole bunch of people there to support Johnny Depp and like 5 people to support Amber Heard. Considering the court case taking place at this very moment and the allegations surrounding it, it should come as no shock that most movies with his name attached to them have been canceled or put on pause, excluding any Marvel properties, because hey, Marvel's got a Marvel, y'all, make that money. So many of his films from this year alone were dismissed. In particular, The Man in My Basement was set to star Majors, as well as have him on as an executive producer before he was dismissed due to his allegations. The adaptations of the Walter Mosley novel is still looking for its next Charles Blakely, the character Majors was supposed to play. Considering the title of that movie, not starring it's probably a good idea. They're in court just like, I'm sorry, the man in your what? Number 3, the Army. Majors may be a major player on the big screen, but it's not just movies that he's been removed from. The Texas Rangers and the United States Army dropped him as the face of their ads. Majors was the focal point of 2 recruitment ads for the Army, and in comments afterwards referred to the fact that while he is innocent until proven guilty, they are going to remove him until an investigation had been completed. In April this year, the Rangers, who play close to Dallas where Jonathon spent a lot of time growing up, were set to release a promotional video starring him, but announced that it wouldn't be shown and refused to comment on why. I guess not commenting is supposed to make it look like it had nothing to do with the allegations, but it does the exact opposite. Number 2, agency drop. After all the cancellations and hardships, getting casted in further movies and ad campaigns will probably be a little bit tricky for Majors, as he was just dropped by his talent management agency at the beginning of all these allegations. According to a report from Variety in April, it was revealed that on top of leaving projects and studios in the dust, he had also parted ways from his former public relations manager, the Lead Company. According to Variety, they state that a source with knowledge of the PR company confirmed that the actor was removed as a client. No shock there. That was then later solidified by the hundreds of news articles that were released. Put it this way, if your PR company doesn't want anything to do with you, it either means that you're terrible at your job or they just don't think they can help you anymore. Either way, not a great position. Number 1, Marvel. Jonathon Majors is currently the man behind the purple cape of Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. Kang was written as a very important figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he was in Ant-Man Quantumania as the main bad guy, only he was just acting as a variant of the real antagonist. It's all a little bit fuzzy, but that might not be a problem anymore. Including He Who Remains, a Kang variant from Loki who once again acted as a major part of the MCU, and unfortunately for Majors, his ex came forward, alleged that he was physically violent towards her while they were together, and since March, Majors and his team have been adamant that the situation was blown out of proportions. There's nothing to be upset about. In fact, in June, Majors filed his own cross-complaint accusing his accuser. Prosecutors refuted the claims and told him that there were no plans to prosecute Grace Jabari, who was the woman who accused him, and Majors was dropped from everything. His role on TVs were canceled, and this is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen the end of Loki Season 2, okay? go away. The series ended with Kang no longer being He Who Remains, and it's so far unclear as to what actually happens next. This might be Marvel's way to just write him out of their series entirely and bring someone else, because there have been rumors his role in the MCU will be replaced by Doctor Doom. So let's hope that goes through and that this whole trial thing works out for someone. Those are John's red flags that we really should have seen before. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, follow the channel for more celebrity content every day. Thank you for stopping by on the screen, and we'll see you next time.